you grossed $400,000. Your bank account doesn't reflect it. That's not mismanagement. That's a missing calculation. Most creators at this income level have watched the gross number grow. Year over year, the headline gets bigger. What they haven't done is build the full P&L, the math from what the platforms paid you to what you actually live on. That gap is almost always larger than expected. That gap is where the anxiety comes from. Start with this. 1 in 4 creators says taxes are their number one business stressor, and 71% didn't know brand trips count as taxable income. The bill doesn't surprise you because you made a mistake. It surprises you because nobody showed you the math in advance. That's what this is. Here's how the math actually works at 400K gross. Line 1 is taxes. You're paying federal income tax plus self-employment tax. Self-employment tax alone runs 15.3% of net earnings. That's the Social Security and Medicare contribution your employer would normally split with you. No employer here. You cover both sides. At 400K gross, a meaningful portion of your income sits in the 32 to 35% federal bracket. Add state taxes. Your effective combined rate lands between 35 to 37% of gross. At 400K, that's $140,000 to $148,000 out before you touch a dollar for the business. After taxes, roughly $252,000 to $260,000 net. Line 2 is reinvestment. Full-time creators at this tier typically put a significant portion of net revenue back into the business. Equipment upgrades, editing costs, a thumbnail designer, software subscriptions, a merch drop, a part-time assistant. For many creators at this level, that's 50 to 70% of net, sometimes more. That's not waste. That's the cost of staying competitive. It means another $130,000 to $182,000 goes back out. After reinvestment, somewhere between $78,000 and $130,000. Line 3 is the one most creators skip entirely. Savings. A modest 5 to 10% allocation off net income separates earning well from building wealth. Money set aside and not touched. At this income level, that's $13,000 to $26,000 a year. Most creators don't have it. Not because they're irresponsible, because the category doesn't exist in how they think about their money. Every dollar after taxes and reinvestment gets absorbed into life and liquidity. It disappears. What's left is your real number. After taxes, reinvestment, and any savings allocation, you're working with somewhere between $6,500 and $10,000 a month. That's spendable income. That's the number that funds your life, not 400K. Not even close. And that's before the timing problem. YouTube finalizes your earnings and pays you between the 21st and 26th of the following month. Twitch pays around the 15th. Patreon pays on demand once you clear a $25 balance. Brand deals pay net 30 to 60 days after content delivery. Merch revenue hits when orders process. 5 income streams. 5 different schedules. No single view of what's actually in motion. Most creators manage this by checking 5 separate dashboards and guessing. That's not a cash flow system. It's a cash flow gamble. 7 in 10 creators say finances are their top business concern. The anxiety isn't irrational. It's the correct response to a real structural problem. A business generating serious revenue with no financial infrastructure behind it. The median full-time creator in the 60K and above tier earns $141,000 a year. Even at that level, the tax and reinvestment math creates the same gap. It scales with income. The number you're missing isn't buried in accounting software. It's a calculation you've never sat down and run. Most creators can pull the inputs in under an hour. The answer changes how you see the whole business. Line 1, your gross revenue for the year. Line 2, subtract your effective tax rate. At 400K, assume 35 to 37% if you're a U.S. sole proprietor or single member LLC. That's if you haven't done an S-Corp election yet. S-Corp structures can save creators at this tier an average of $8,500 a year. That's a separate conversation. Line 3, subtract what you actually reinvested. Pull your real business expenses from last year. Don't estimate. Line 4, subtract any savings allocation. Even if it's been 0, write that down. Line 5, divide by 12. That final number is your real monthly income. $6,500 to $10,000 a month. It shows whether you're building financial stability or running a treadmill. Productive feeling, but not moving forward. This is general education. Your specific numbers will vary based on your state, your business structure, and your income mix. A CPA who actually works with creators can run the real math for your situation. You can do this calculation this week. Most creators have never written it down. Once you have the number, bring it to your next accountant meeting. That real monthly figure, not the gross, not the net, the actual $6,500 to $10,000 number. Ask one specific question. How do we grow this number? Not just the gross. That question takes about 10 minutes. Either your accountant understands your business or they just file your returns. That's the number that matters. That's the math that's been missing.